Mainwaring.
All right, pay attention, everybody.
My goodness me, sir. You really do look awfully smart.
Well, after all, I am the guest speaker.
Yeah.
Just because there's a war on, we can't let our standards drop, can we?
Mainwaring was a terrible snob.
What exactly would you do with a Rolls-Royce?
Well, I should use it as my staff car.
He enjoyed being a snob because he felt he had achieved something.
Don't sit in my chair when I'm not here, Wilson.
The grit that made the pearl that is Dad's Army is that sense of class consciousness.
Athur was obviously a grammar school boy, and John the Mesurier was obviously a public school boy.
Now, don't start any of that public school cheating with me.
Eye bags first.
When he hears that Wilson is an honourable. Oh, he said, you're an honourable now, are you? And now they've let you in the golf club. I've been trying to get in that golf club for 20 years.
Is there no limit to the conceit of the man?
I think he looks rather noble.
How's that? Rather Churchillian, don't you think?
Oh, yes, very Churchillian. Yes, indeed.
Hello.
I think everybody knows what Captain Mainwaring's like. He's a fussy little, pompous mini Montgomery, somebody referred to him as, which I think is very good.
We are on the front line every minute of our lives here.
He's just about smart enough to realise that he's just not quite smart enough.
Wondered how long it would take you to think of that. I'm just wondering who'd be the first to spot that. Just waiting to see who'd spot that one first.
And he conveys that in every double take, every little grimace, every little nervous twitch, that he reacts to Wilson's wry, sometimes sarcastic and ironic observations and goadings.
But if you were picked as guard commander, I expect you'd get one.
For the medal?
No, a kiss.
Well, now, don't you underrate Mainwaring. He's got lots of guts and he's very tenacious.
Captain Mainwaring, man of action.
No, there's no question mark after the title.
All clear. Right, come on. Come on.
Right, come along, men. We march on the town hall.
Right, sir.
Keep it up, man. You're doing very well. This town is under martial law.
If there's any bravery to be shown, Athur is the one who dashes out and grabs the hand grenade and throws it away.
He would have been first there, foolishly, more than likely. You know, trying to stop a tank with a sticky bomb that didn't stick. But he'd have gone and done it.
Now, someone has to take over in this emergency, Wilson. And that someone, of course, is me. Hodges, I demand an explanation of this.
Keep your ear on.
He wanted to take control of Wilmington-on-Sea as well as Mainwaring, so that's where it all started to... these two got to loggerheads.
There's no love lost between Hodges and me. I think the fellow's a bore.
And the warden was always going to lose.
Oh, it's no good. I'll say it isn't. Look at you, you ruddy hooligans!
Then we became great friends, Arthur and I.
I think if you were trying to describe Arthur Lowe, you'd have to say he's Captain Mainwaring, really, because that was his character, undoubtedly. And he grew more like it, and perhaps we made him grow more like it as the years went by.
Are you anything like the character you play in Dad's Army, Captain Mainwaring?
Oh, no. No, certainly not. I'm always being asked this question, and the answer's definitely no. Captain Mainwaring's a very pompous man, you know. Nothing pompous about me.
That's very interesting, Arthur.
Please, do you mind, Mr. Lowe?
Arthur was a pompous little man. There's no two ways about it.
You're behaving like some sort of a dictator.
No, I'm not behaving like a dictator at all, Wilson. Simply asking people to do as they're told.
He could be very pompous, Arthur. He was a dear man. We all loved him dearly, but he could be quite... We used to laugh at him because he was a bit pompous.
There's a story, for example, of Clive Dunn getting his OBE and it being mentioned to Arthur Lowe in makeup and him saying, I hope when I get mine, I'm not going to get any of that bargain basement rubbish.
But it was when he let you in that sort of balloon of protection that he had around himself that you found out that he was quietly sending himself up as well.
Pull his stomach in. Can't tolerate people who let their stomachs stick out.
When it came to casting Captain Mainwaring, Jimmy Perry, in particular, only had one choice in mind, and that was Arthur Lowe.
And Michael Mills said, Arthur Lowe, who's that? Doesn't he do that thing up north? What, Jubilee Road? I said, no, Coronation Street. This is 1967. Oh, no, we don't know him. We don't use him.
He was a Granada man. He was a commercial man.
This is true. You've no idea the snobbishness of the BBC in those days.
We three in Happy Row, working for the BBC. Ramsbottom and Nino and me.
Arthur Lowe was in an office, I believe, before the war. He was called up, became a sergeant major, served in the army, and he was in the cavalry, believe it or not. He was a super horseman, Arthur. When he played Napoleon, boy, could he ride. Excellent. Then after the war, he met his wife, Joan, who was in a repertory company, and he said, I've always wanted to be an actor, and she got him in the company.
Arthur Lowe I knew as an actor. I'd seen him in a musical, Kiss Me Kate, I think it was.
And the first thing he said to David Croft was, I hope it's not going to be like that old rubbish Hugh and I.
Well, I produced and directed Hugh and I, so he sort of realised he'd put his foot in it.
And he was canny enough to realise what a good show it was going to be.
I think from the first script I read of Dad's Army, it was obvious that it was going to be good. And that one could make something from the character without trying very hard, really, because it was there, it was self-explanatory.
And so he settled into it, although always grumpily refusing to take the script home.
He wasn't very good at learning his part, actually, and I think part of his marvellous timing was just the nanosecond it took to think to himself, what the hell am I going to say next, really?
Well, the story, I'm sure everybody will tell you, with variations. David Croft once said...
Look, Arthur, please, learn the script. He said, take it home with you. He said, I'll keep one here in the rehearsal room.
One you can lose on the train, one you can lose on the bus.
Have one at home. He said...
Home? I wouldn't have rubbish like that in my home.
It's true.
Do you take this seriously?
Oh, I am taking it very seriously indeed.
Who's this supposed to be?
Well, I think that's supposed to be a portrait of your wife, sir.
Which one?
Your wife, yes. If you look a little bit closer, I think you can see.
Good heavens. There it is.
Yes.
Remarkable likeness.
We never saw Captain Mainwaring's wife, did we? He was obviously quite frightened of her.
Look what she did to my tie.
Because he'd get on the phone to her and say, Elizabeth?
Elizabeth? Oh, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I know that you have more ample proportions than Mrs. Fogg. But you're not Lady Godiva, are you?
You never saw Mrs. Mainwaring, this unseen threat. Everybody had their own idea. The only thing you knew was that she was large.
You chat to the little woman?
I see. What little woman?
My wife, of course.
They wanted to bring her in, and Arthur said, no. He said, everybody has their own idea of what Elizabeth looks like, and if you show her, you've destroyed her. And he was right.
If George Mainwaring hadn't actually married Elizabeth and had actually married someone like Mrs. Grey, whom he meets in the episode called Mum's Army, he would have been a rather nicer and happier and more contented individual.
I took my lads into the horse and groom and made sure everyone got a tot of rum down them, sir. I know you've done the same thing in my position, sir.
I very much doubt that, Jones. You know my views on alcohol.
And one thing Arthur always did brilliantly was a drunk scene.
Tiptoe through the chilling.
I think Arthur was a great admirer of a comic called Freddie Frinton, who was famous drunk.
Come.
Another great episode is My Brother and I.
I was in My Brother and I, and it was the most wonderful episode because it gave Arthur the chance to do two parts.
And it's a marvellous performance by Arthur Lowe in these two roles, sometimes playing all the drunk with all the technical performance that goes into that, and also reacting with this look of horror and embarrassment as Captain Mainwaring.
He got as many laughs away from the dialogue as he did with the dialogue by what he chose not to say.
If you looked at Arthur's eyes, they were listening. There's a little scene in guerrilla warfare, and they're all bedding down for the night in a barn.
Captain Mainwaring, did you ever hear the story of the old empty barn?
No. Well, I'm not going to go through it, but eventually he said...
There was nothing in it.
That's not the tag. The wonderful tag was, got a big laugh, full face, close-up of Arthur. He took a deep breath and said...
You know, Wilson, over the years that I've come to know the members of this platoon, I've grown quite fond of them. But I can't help feeling sometimes that I'm in charge of a bunch of idiots.
Oh, kiss me goodnight, Captain Mainwaring. Tuck me in my little wooden bed. We all love you, Captain Mainwaring. When we hear you falling down a leg, whoops! Don't forget to wake me in the morning and bring me round a nice hot cup of tea, my dreamboat. Kiss me goodnight, Captain Mainwaring. Captain Mainwaring, be your mama to be.
TV people don't get old. I mean, you know, they think you've some secret of immortality, but that's really the only reason why it stopped, because, as I said, we lost 3 of our leading characters, and we were all getting rather old. So, you know, we stopped while the going was still good.